Hey, what's up, coach? Welcome back to the podcast. Today is episode 201. Yesterday on episode 200, I gave away 5 free trials to our mastermind program. I got a ton of responses, and if you have applied for it, I have an application process. I'm not just giving those away to whoever, and I do have one spot left. So if you are interested in a free trial of the mastermind program, go listen to episode 200, follow the instructions there, and let's dig into today's episode. Now, the title of today's episode is Why Not Knowing Any Better Can Be Good. And this is one of those things, I always talk about being prepared and being really disciplined and all that stuff. But there are some things within your business where you do need to be naive. And I'll give you a good example. Like a lot of coaches, when they think about creating a website, they think that it has to look exactly like mine, or they think it has to look really, really good. And they overthink everything. They think, well, how am I going to get the domain name? How am I going to set up the website? How am I going to get all the graphics? And really at the beginning, you need to sometimes be naive and just be like, all right, I'm just going to do this and roll with it, right? That's a lot different than trying to make everything perfect, trying to see what someone else is doing and just copy them, right? And so why not knowing any better can be good for you is because if you don't know any better, you're just going to do it, right? If you just don't know any better, you're just going to take action, and then you'll figure things out as you go. And I am a big believer in taking imperfect action. That just means when you need to do something, you do it. And if you do it wrong, you're going to learn. And if you do it right, great. Didn't know any better anyways. You just did it. This is why in your business, you should always just do the thing. Like when you have a gut decision, you just do it, right? Because when you start to overthink, when you hesitate, that's when bad things happen. That's when zero progress occurs in your business. When you try to make everything perfect, or when you know better, and you know that if you do something in an exact way that it's going to work and it doesn't, like then you're going to be disappointed, right? This is why there's some times where you need to be naive with what you're doing and just roll with the consequences. That's okay. And I'll give you a really good example. A couple of years ago, right? And you can go back and look at all the podcasts we've done. I mean, this is our 201st podcast. We've done a ton of YouTube videos. But when I first started doing podcasts and YouTube videos, I didn't know how to upload these podcasts. I just did them from my phone. Several of these podcasts, you can hear like my car keys rattling around the background. You can hear the windshield wiper. You can hear cars going by me. You can hear people honking at me and cussing at me because I drive really slow. Like, I didn't know any better, but I just put it out there. And over a period of time, I was like, oh, I'm going to course correct and make this a little bit better because now I'm starting to learn this a little bit better, right? It's a great example. And I did the same with all my videos. And it's not about knowing everything, right? It's about just starting off. Know that it's okay to be a beginner at something, and then from there you course correct. You get better and better and better. And if you have that mindset, you know that you'll always be learning, right? You learn from mistakes and you'll learn from success, but it's a matter of just taking action, right? This is why you should sometimes go into making decisions and just being like, you know what, I don't know everything about this, but I'm going to go ahead and do it, and from there I'm going to learn. All right, I'm going to give you a great example of a coach who has done everything that I'm talking about, right? So there's a dude who lives in California. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want everyone to go stalk him on social media. But when we first started working together, his business was doing around $3,000 a month. And he had a family. And he knew that he needed to make more money. Like, that's just flat out. He financially was being pressured. He needed to make more money. And my goal with him was not to overcomplicate anything. I just said, all right, we need to do this, this, and this, and we need to do it by this date. And he took action on that. He didn't question anything. He wasn't confused about anything. He wasn't overthinking anything. He just went to go do it. And right now his business is around $15,000 a month and growing, right? He has a very solid, sustainable business right now. And he went into it just being naive. He was like, all right, well, I'm going to trust what Ben has to say, and I'm just going to do it, and I'm not going to overthink. And it's crazy how it works. But most of the time when I help coaches, when they go into it with that mindset and they just trust the process, like they're going to find success way faster than if they doubt everything, or if they are overly concerned, or if they think everything needs to be perfect. Again, this is why sometimes you need to be naive and just do it. And you'll learn from failure. You'll learn from success. You don't never learn anything when you just stand there still, right? So that's it for today's podcast. Like I said, I have one spot left in my free trial. Go back to episode 200 to learn how you can get a free trial to my mastermind program. That's it for today's episode. I will see you next week.